Welcome back to the Cinema Cult Network. I'm Kris.
I'm Matt.
And I'm Honto.
And we're finishing our February Black History Month with the 1998 film Blade, starring Wesley Snipes. A movie I think we've all seen probably a couple times. I haven't seen this in years. I mean, I've probably seen it 2 or 3 times, but it's probably been maybe 15 years since I've seen
Multiple viewings over the years.
Recently?
Multiple viewings.
I just watched this 2 years back.
Okay. All right, cool.
That's it. No, I've seen this multiple times, but I just watched a couple years ago just for fun.
Okay. I actually
For fun.
I actually meant to watch 2 and 3 before this podcast. I never got the opportunity to, unfortunately.
I didn't either. Yeah.
But let's go ahead and let's start what we do at the beginning of every episode, and let's talk about Rotten Tomatoes scores for Blade. Rotten Tomatoes, Matt, what do you think it has?
62.
68.
57.
What?
Yes.
Wow. Damn it. I was going to say 57.
And then just because
I
though.
Just
because I know we'll probably never cover the other two. What do you think Blade 2 has on Rotten Tomatoes, Honto?
45.
Matt?
62.
52%. And then finally, 2004, Blade Trinity, Matt, Rotten Tomatoes.
30.
22.
25. So let's talk about how much money this movie cost to make. Honto, what do you think? In dollars.
10 million.
Okay.
30. I think 30 million.
30.
'Cause
45 million.
Oh, wow.
Okay.
I was very low on that one.
You were.
A
17,000.
little independent film called Blade.
Wes Anderson's Blade. Starring Luke Wilson. And
I was trying to think of an independent director, and all that popped in my head was Tony Shalhoub.
What?
Tony Shalhoub's Blade.
Sometimes people classify Blade with, Easy Rider.
Clerks. Made on a dime budget.
You know, it's a good double feature.
The Following.
Blade and Swingers.
Yeah.
A little independent double feature. How much do you think this domestically took in at the box office, Matt?
I'm going to go with 90 million.
Okay. Honto?
150 million.
70 million. Honto is just not your game tonight. I feel like the beginning of Ghostbusters.
Apparently, Honto, this is the most successful independent movie that's ever come out. It only cost 10 million to make, and it made 150 million.
It made some massive waves. That's why they got those other 2 movies.
I feel like I'm at the beginning of Ghostbusters showing Honto the cards, and I'm like, I'm sorry, it's just not your day.
Just slowly going up to that button. Don't do it.
So 70 million domestically. How much do you think it made worldwide, including domestic? Honto, what do you got?
150 million.
Matt?
I'm going to go 100 million.
131. So
Thank
I would
God,
say
a little bit closer this time.
yeah, you butchered that. So based on a $45 million budget, I would say this is definitely profitable. The thing about budgets, I don't know if I've ever told you this, they usually don't include marketing.
I figured.
So there's a couple million always missing from that budget.
Oh,
so
really?
Like usually it depends. There could be like 10, 15 million, stuff like that. So like Ghostbusters The Afterlife, that budget I think was 75 million, but not included was the publicity they did for almost 2 years because it kept getting delayed.
Oh yeah.
So then that bumps up the
But
budget.
that's crazy because isn't sometimes the publicity is like almost matching the budget.
I don't know. That I don't know.
Like, I mean, you look at something like Batman, 89 Batman.
Yeah.
It's like, how expensive was that publicity to make all those toys, all those commercials?
I don't know. Yeah, I think that's separate from the budget. I don't know how exactly how it works. Like I said, I'm
like
just
merchandising and stuff, or
commercial spots.
Yeah, I don't think merchandising and all that is included in the budget.
Okay,
but
they had some merchandising for this Blade movie where they had Blade Ice Skater because motherfuckers trying to skate uphill, so they had like the ice skating version.
Dude, when did you think of that joke?
Yeah, right.
I think so.
No,
maybe.
No.
I don't know.
No, they didn't.
Did they make Blade toys?
I don't think so.
I don't think so.
I just like the idea that it's just Blade on ice skates and he's just like skating. It's always how like they had the Batman where it's like frozen Batman. You know what I'm talking about? Where they had like the offshoots like that never existed in the animated.
Oh yeah,
series.
Batman's especially.
Oh yeah,
there's like
where it's like
Aqua Batman.
laser guns Batman.
Dude, I'll tell you the perfect example. There was a toy from Batman Forever, and it was the Riddler, and he had on a backpack, and the backpack had an arm that extended out over his head, and it had like this ring thing that you put on other people's heads. You know what I'm talking about?
Oh, is it like the thing that they wear to
kind of, yeah, but it looked nothing like it.
Okay.
It was really odd. But I remember watching him or looking at the toy and be like, this was not in the movie.
There's something about something. Sorry to go off tangent, but something about like 90s merchandising. Yeah, specifically like the Aliens line of toys. Do you ever seen those?
Oh yeah. We have a few of them.
I used to have one. It was like APOC or it was like one of the guys that gets killed in the first sequence.
Okay.
But he's like wearing a yellow tank top and he's got like a suspenders and like a backwards hat and it's like aliens. It's like I don't remember. Like this is definitely not in the
because we have we just talked about her on the T2 episode. But
Vasquez.
Yeah, we had the Vasquez figure.
Yeah, nice.
Did we really?
Yeah,
Very cool.
I remember that one. But it's in the same thing. We didn't talk about this with Terminator 2, but we might as well bring it up. But the Terminator 2
there was a lot of. I had a lot
we
of
missed
those.
that because we had the toy where the light came through the top of the head to light up the eyes.
Yes.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it was just like it was a T800, like
Okay.
just like this exoskeleton.
Yeah.
And it had like not a hole in its head, but
Just
it had
like a
like
little button or something.
no, it was like a see-through. So like trying
Like
to explain.
I remember I had a shadow toy that was this way. The light would come through the top of the head, and it would
Make the eyes look like they were
red.
glowing.
Got it. Okay.
It was really
we had
neat.
one with
That's
like
pretty cool.
switch out his arms, and
Yeah,
like
I
one
had
had like
that.
a spike that came out of his finger.
We had one that was
Or his
like
wrist or whatever.
13 or 14 inches tall, and it had a turret gun,
Really?
and you could press buttons on the back, and like his eyes would light up. And like,
Hasta la vista, baby.
Yeah,
And that's what it was. Yeah, and it made the gun noise.
Or it was like, I need a vacation.
Here's a couple of acres.
Oh, this is a weird movie. Speaking of which, I want to say they made a 12-inch figure as well for Last Action.
Oh,
Hero.
really?
Oh, there's a jingle all the way. I don't know why that
Is
was
it
in my
him?
head.
Is it him swinging with the kid? Like
No,
that's like
it's
that
like
figure.
it's a 12-inch action figure. I think that makes noises and stuff.
Okay.
But no, you're thinking of Jingle All the Way because they go after a 12-inch action figure.
Yeah.
Oh, they do.
Yeah, what is it, Rocket Man or
Turbo Man.
Turbo Man? That's what it
Turbo
is.
Man.
I haven't seen the movie since theaters.
I like that movie.
It's a good movie. It's
I
fun.
actually really like
Yeah,
it.
I
we'll
like it
cover it one time. In the
I hope so.
podcast.
We should have this
This
up in
Christmas.
here.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it'd be a good Christmas one.
Honto, take us to the cast and crew of Blade.
Blade, 1998, directed by Stephen Norrington. There's a movie. I think it was one of his first movies called Death Machine. Trailer looks stupid,
Really?
but it stars Brad Dorff,
Okay.
so that's like something.
Okay.
But he's probably best known. And he only had like 4 movies. This
Oh,
guy.
okay.
Last movie, League of Extraordinary Gentlemen.
Really?
That was his last movie
Really?
that he made. Yeah.
I didn't know that was him.
Yep.
Why was this last
I try
movie?
to avoid all this stuff. Like when we're doing the
Cast.
cast and crew for
Yeah.
like movies, I try to avoid these.
I was like, I didn't really know who directed this, and then when I looked it up, I was like, okay, the name sounds familiar. What did he do?
Yeah.
And yeah, it was League was his last movie. And that
Well,
was like
Honto, I'm
2000.
not gonna call you out, but you said his filmography only has 4 movies, and you named 3 of them.
Well,
Why leave us hanging? What's
yeah.
the 4th one?
Okay, well, let me.
So, yeah.
All right. Well, while he's looking that up,
He
here
said
I
it-
found a Blade figure for you for the movie.
Oh,
Like,
okay.
Yeah, we'll post this as our image for the episode.
Oh wow, his face. Why is his face doing that?
Yeah, and I want to say there was if I'm correct, there was a Steven Dorff one. I remember seeing these at Suncoast.
I do not remember these figures at all.
Um,
But that's cool. They made them though.
Oh,
That's
they made
pretty cool.
a Whistler one. It was like
really?
Santa Claus.
Does it? I can see it. That's awesome.
Buy me, you son of a bitch.
Oh, interesting trivia about him.
Yeah.
He was made for the Spider-Man cartoon, and they liked him so much they indoctrinated him into the Blade storyline.
Oh yeah,
Isn't that
yeah,
weird?
Yeah, I
Interesting.
actually do remember that.
Yeah.
Interesting. Okay.
So the reason why I didn't bring it up because I have never heard of this movie before.
Okay.
It's called The Last Minute
Nope, never heard of it
from
either.
2001. So
No.
that was a massive waste of time.
It's but you know what? Matt stalled with some action figure knowledge, so thank you for that.
Yeah.
But the director actually starred. He was not starred, but he was a character in that Return to Oz movie, starring Fairuza Balk.
Really?
Yeah, which is that like a lot of people.
He's in
I've
that?
actually never seen it,
Oh,
but
it's,
like
dude, it's trippy.
people say it's like trippy
I've
and
never
actually
seen it
like
either.
kind of scary.
Speaking of ice skates,
Oh yeah,
yeah, there's some terrifying.
They're
creatures
rollerblades, I think.
that
They're
roll-
rollerblades.
Yeah, they rollerblade around.
because they have on their feet and their hands, and they're like
Yeah.
rollerblading.
Oh, cool.
After her.
really
Very
cool,
cool.
creature stuff. Yeah.
But
Okay.
yeah, she's in that movie, or he's in that movie.
Okay.
But yeah, I also want to bring up this is written by David Escoyer. He was kind of like a guy that showed up everywhere in the writing credits for a lot of movies.
Oh, yeah.
But previous episode, he wrote Batman vs Superman: Dawn of Justice. Also wrote Dark City, which I think is a pretty underrated movie.
I didn't know he did that.
Yeah, yeah. And then another movie that I always like saw, but I've always saw like the VHS for, but never seen. The Puppet Masters. I always thought it was related to the Puppet Masters.
Oh,
but
I
it's
understand.
not.
Yes.
It's
okay.
like that Invasion with the Body Snatchers kind of ripoff,
Okay.
starring Donald Sutherland because he's in Invasion of the Body Snatchers. So it was like
I don't know what you're talking about.
If you see the VHS, you'll probably like recognize it.
Yeah.
It was a movie from like 1994.
So it's a movie called Puppet Masters.
The Puppet Masters.
I gotta say
Masters,
condescending, like, I don't know what the hell you're talking about.
No. It's understandable.
Tonto, I don't mean to sound rude, but I don't know what the hell you're saying.
It's understandable because I think the movie's supposed to be
Yeah,
terrible.
so it's Puppet Masters and it stars Donald Sutherland.
Yeah, but it's like an Invasion of the Body Snatchers movie.
Okay.
It has no relation whatsoever to the Puppet
Whoa.
Masters series.
You blew my mind, dude.
Yeah, it just has that extra S. It's not the same.
Wow.
I remember he got really big back in like the mid to late 2010s, the aughts, if you will. And I always saw his name on. There was a movie called. It was a horror movie called the.
Is this Donald Sutherland?
No,
Oh,
David Square.
yeah. Is
And
it
it was
the
called
Unborn?
The Unborn, yes.
Yeah.
And I always remember being like, oh man, this movie's gonna be good if he wrote it.
Who was the guy who wrote Batman Begins? Why can't I always get him mixed up with the writer?
Tony Shalhoub.
Oh,
Yeah.
man of many hats.
Do you think anybody in here can do a Tony Shalhoub impression? Just curious.
No.
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 Okay.
You know, I watch Monk all the time.
Yeah.
I can't even. Yeah. David S. Goyer actually did the screenplay for.
Was
did
it Goyer?
Batman.
Okay, yeah. So
Yeah.
it's the same guy. I don't
So,
get
yeah,
it. I don't get him mixed up because
Yeah.
it's the same guy.
Yeah, it's literally the same guy.
What were you gonna say about The Unborn?
Oh yeah. So when we first met, we actually used to listen to a little podcast that's defunct now called Yeah, It's That Bad. And their first episode was The Unborn.
That's right. I never
And-
listened to it because I always want to watch that movie.
And their 100th episode was a redo on The Unborn.
Okay.
They did like a basically
Oh, what we talked about doing
Yeah.
last
With
week.
our-
yeah, exactly like a
Interesting.
redo.
Okay.
So
Interesting.
starring Wesley Snipes as Blade. Previous episode, Passenger 57. His first movie was Wildcats, a high school football movie starring Goldie Hawn.
Yes.
Was
One
also-
of Honto's favorites.
no, it's actually
Unnecessary reference.
yeah.
It's a necessary
Or
roughness. Yeah.
necessary roughness.
Yeah, get
We
it right.
always talk about 80s football movies.
Yeah, those two
and-
are kind of like I used to watch those both a lot.
Yeah.
Growing up as both Wildcats and
And
Necessary
then
Roughness.
there's because I always bring up what is it, the Kurt Russell Robin Williams movie.
Oh,
I always screw up the title.
God, I
The
can't
one with
remember.
Kurt Russell and Tony Shalhoub?
Man, this
you're
is
being
like-
helpful.
Yeah, picture of Tony Shalhoub for this Blade episode.
I think
This
it's one of the guys.
Is it the best years of our? No, not the best years. Of
I know
our lives.
it's something like that. I can't remember what it is, but we talked about it on this podcast where it's like they're trying to relive the glory days.
Yeah, it's a
Oh.
great dude. It's an awesome movie.
And Robin Williams, I think,
Yes.
is like a geek or like a
Yeah,
nerdy guy.
He fumbled
Um,
the ball, man.
yeah, Leprechaun 4 is what you're thinking of.
Man, you are killing it tonight,
I'm
Kris.
helping with the
Yeah.
trivia.
While you pull it up, I'm going to continue on. He was also in Tu Wong Fu, Thanks for Everything.
Never saw
Julie
it.
Newmar. I
Always
actually
wanted
saw
to.
it a couple times.
Good?
I remember being all right.
Yeah. It's a good
Patrick
cast.
Swayze and John Leguizamo.
Yeah.
And then he was also in the sequel to The Fugitive, U.S. Marshals.
Wow. I've not thought about that
Oh,
movie in a while.
yeah.
He was the fugitive in that movie.
I remember liking
I remember
U.S.
liking it.
Marshals
I remember-
more
yeah.
than liking Fugitive.
I don't know if I agree with that.
I remember
Really?
I thought the same thing, but I don't think it's a good movie.
Okay.
I think it does not hold up.
No.
And it was like before Robert Downey Jr. fell out with his whole habit.
Yeah.
He was like also in that movie.
Yeah.
And then literally everybody from The Fugitive reprised the role, like Tommy Lee Jones
Yeah.
and his whole like team of people.
yeah, Paliano's in it.
Yeah, they all returned.
Um,
so
Dude, what a much bigger movie that probably would have been had they called it The Fugitive 2.
yeah, I
Like,
know,
what a
right?
kind of a missed opportunity. Like,
it's kind of weird that
it's
they
like a
called it
silent
Yeah.
sequel.
Well, it's like
the movie was Best of Times.
Best of Times.
I hate the title for this movie
Yeah.
because I think I've seen that movie like 5 or 6 times. I always screw up the title of that movie.
I need to add it to my list to when I do my rewatch.
Yeah, it's one of those fun. Like if you watched it with like used cars.
Okay, I've never seen that either.
Oh, you never seen used cars? Used cars is really good. And Overboard, like have a threesome.
I've seen that one.
with all 3 of those movies. They're great.
threesome?
Yeah, or isn't that what they call them when you watch 3 movies in a row?
Sure.
Dude,
Okay.
you want to do a good like triple feature like that.
Oh,
Leprechaun
triple
2,
feature is what I was looking for.
Leprechaun 3,
Mink.
and Leprechaun 4.
Okay.
Yeah,
What about the first
yeah.
one and the fifth one, the sixth one?
I don't know,
and
just
the
pick any
seventh
3 of them. I don't
Okay.
care.
We're only on the first actor, by the way, so we still got a little bit to go.
Yeah, we do.
Stephen Dorff as Deacon Frost. Previously in the not previous episode, but he was in The Gate, which was one of his first movies, which is weird because I think that movie was 87.
Okay.
So he was like a kid in The Gate, and he's like an adult in this, which is like
And just
really
a short
weird.
span of time.
Yeah.
Kind
Yeah,
of.
it's just really weird because he's a geeky kid in The Gate.
Yeah.
But he was also in Immortals, which was that Tarsem Singh who did The Cell.
Okay,
Remember The Cell?
okay.
which is actually Henry Cavill's like one of his first movies.
Okay.
Visually interesting movie, pretty bad everything else.
Really? I've never seen it.
Yeah, it's like a visual heavy. Yeah, have you seen The Cell?
No.
Okay, that's like a
Yeah.
really heavy, like on the fantasy and like the visual effects and stuff.
Oh, yeah.
Same idea for Immortals, but the story is pretty bad.
Yeah.
Okay.
Then he was in True Detective season 3, which I mentioned, I think on the when we did Into the Spider-Verse. I think we talked about it briefly.
Oh, yeah, we did. Yeah.
But then he was also in this movie that I saw way back in the day called Deuces Wild, which is it was like an all-star cast of
It
people.
came out the same day as Spider-Man in 2001.
Oh, did it?
Yeah.
Did it? Okay.
I remember that because it's like a it's like
I think it was marketed as like a Gangs of New York.
like an Outsiders.
Yeah, like Outsiders is like two
Okay.
rival gangs
Yeah, it's like
or whatever.
1950s gangs.
But like
and-
Brad Renfro's in it, Fairuza Balk, who we just talked about.
Okay.
Johnny Knoxville, Norman Reedus. They got
Johnny
Sounds
Knoxville's
familiar.
in it, really.
Frankie Muniz is in it.
Okay.
There's like all these people, and they like I remember the VHS had like all the people's like pictures and stuff.
Yeah.
It's like all-star cast. I remember I watched it, I was like, this is terrible.
Is it really?
It's bad.
I get that mixed up sometimes too with or not. I don't get mixed up. I'm sorry. It's like kind of like relatable, like the Newton Boys.
Yeah, it's exactly like kind of the same thing where
Yeah.
it's like, look
Yeah.
at these
An
cast
all-star
of characters.
cast. 2 movies I've never seen.
Or like
I've always been interested in watching the Newton Boys because the cast is really solid.
Oh, wait, are you saying Newton Boys or Newsies?
that's another like
I know,
that's
right?
another type
It's
of movie.
all-
Newsies.
Yeah, like the one with Christian Bale.
Yeah, Christian Bale. It's got the kid version of Tom Hanks from Big is like
Yeah.
the co-star in that movie.
It's
I
like
think
a
his name
half
is-
musical,
I think
half.
his name is David
paper-
Moscow. That's
Okay.
his name. He was in Two Girls in a Place in a Pizza Place or something.
Two girls, a place.
A
and
place.
a
How many
pizza place.
places are there?
there's a couple places.
Well,
so
there's
you
a
just
place
gotta-
and then there's a pizza place.
And then there's another. There's 2 places.
There's 2 girls and then there's 2 places.
Yeah.
They're not related. They don't know each other.
It's called a girl, a guy, and his friend in 3 places, and then a pizza place.
Love it. We got Kristofferson as Whistler. He was in a Sam Peckinpah movie called Bring Me the Head of Alfredo Garcia. He was also in Payback. Get ready to root for the villain or the bad guy is the tagline
Yeah.
for the movie. And then a movie I used to watch a lot as a kid, Big Top Pee-wee.
Oh yeah,
He's
Pee
like-
Wee.
yeah, he's basically just
Isn't that really good? Pee Wee,
he's-
what are you doing?
he's basically just playing Whistler. Like,
Yeah.
I mean, I
Yeah.
guess he's just playing himself.
That's Kris Kristofferson for you. He just plays. Even when he's in, if you watch him in, we're talking about Peckinpah movies. But like, if you watch him in like Convoy,
I don't think I've ever seen it.
and then with Ally McGraw, and then you watch him in like Bring Me the Head of Alfredo Garcia, and he's like a rapist. And
Yeah,
then
he's bad.
Alfredo Garcia.
Bad in that
He
movie.
literally plays it the exact same tone, where you're like, wow, like Kris Kristofferson is really charming.
Yeah,
it's weird.
because he's also in we talked about it when we watched this movie together, but he's in the Barbara Streisand A Star Is
Yeah.
Born.
Yeah,
So he's-
Alice doesn't live here anymore. I just watched
Okay.
him in that.
what's that
the
about?
past
I've
year.
never seen it before.
I don't know. It's about a girl, is a widow who moves, and she's just kind of trying to find her life after her husband dies. And
Okay,
Kris Kristofferson plays like the love interest.
nice.
If I remember correctly, I think he was a co-writer with some of Johnny Cash's songs.
I think
Is
yeah,
that
'cause he's a
right?
musician. Yeah, he's a
Yeah.
musician. So I think that probably checks out.
Yeah.
Yeah, cool guy.
Yeah.
Yeah, it seems like it.
Yeah,
We got Donal Logue as Quinn, who's like the right hand man to Frost.
Okay.
The goofy goober in that movie.
Oh yeah.
He's in a very, very underrated TV show from FX way back. I think it's like 2010.
Grounded
called-
for life.
No.
that's what I thought he was
I thought
gonna
you were
say.
gonna-
I was
No.
like, wow, he's really praising this one.
No, it's like a detective show called Terriers.
Okay,
Very, very. I love that show.
really.
I don't think I
Love
remember it.
When did it?
I think
come out?
2010. Only one season. A lot of people gave FX shit because they canceled it after one
Okay,
season. And
really?
it ends on a huge
Of course.
cliffhanger. But it's awesome. It has like an overarching
Yeah.
story, detective story. But it's like first episode starts with an overarching, and then everything else is kind of like the standalone.
Yeah.
And then it eventually like connects, and you're like, oh my god, this is pretty cool.
Okay.
But he plays as like a private eye meets a con man, and they become partners
Cool.
in the
Okay.
business basically.
Okay.
So
Interesting.
but yeah, Grounded for Life. And then he's also in Sons of Anarchy for a little bit.
Yeah, and he pops up in a lot of movies.
Yeah, I think Reindeer Games. He's in Reindeer Games,
Is
which
he?
is what I saw, which is a Ben Affleck movie.
Yep.
But yeah, he's kind of like plays like a character actor type.
Yeah.
Well, you know, like he's a character actor, pops up in a lot of stuff.
Mhm.
Got Udo Kier as Dragonetti. I've seen him in a movie called Mark of the Devil, which is one of my favorite soundtracks that I own.
Never heard of it.
Old movie from the 60s
Okay.
about witchcraft and that kind of stuff.
Ace Ventura, you mean?
Yeah, I do have the soundtrack for that, but he is in Ace Ventura.
Mark of the Devil. I always get Mark of the Devil and the Devils mixed up.
Yeah, 2 different movies.
Yeah,
sure,
completely 2 different movies. Yeah.
Is it Devils? What is that movie?
It's the one with oh my god, what's his name? He's in The Brood and he's in Curse of the Werewolf. His name is completely escaping me right now, but like it's like basically I've never seen it because I've been trying to get a good copy of it. There's like an uncut copy.
Oh yeah, we talked about this.
There's a copy that's cut,
movie.
And Chris brought this up actually. He showed it to me. It was on Shudder for a minute.
Yeah,
and it was the cut copy. It was like the version that like censored a lot of the stuff.
Yeah, we talked about this,
but it's never been had like a proper release.
Yeah.
Yeah, The Devils. Ken Russell movie.
Yeah, that's right. Okay,
I'm gonna look up that actor because it's driving me nuts right now, and I'll just randomly say his name.
Johnny Mnemonic with Keanu Reeves. He's in that movie. He has a pretty stellar death in that movie. That I always remember.
Never saw it. That VHS was so tempting.
Oh yeah, because it has the actual like tape.
It's so neat.
Head. Yeah.
Even as a kid, I was like, "That's cool."
Whenever VHSs did something special like that, you knew you're in for a treat.
Right? Oliver Reed.
Oh,
I
yeah,
know why I couldn't
Oliver
think
Reed.
of that. Oliver Reed.
Yeah, because
did you see The Brood?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's the guy who owns like the facility that they all go to.
Kind of.
Teams up with the main.
Yeah, he teams up with the main guy.
Okay.
Also an End of Days and Dracula 3000. They started a trend of Dracula number movies after Dracula 2000 with Gerard Butler.
Was that a sequel to Mr. Baseball?
What?
Or what was the movie with
Mr. Destiny?
No, that's what I was thinking too.
Oh,
the one it's like Baseball 3000. Or
Mr. 3000.
Mr. 3000. Yes,
Mr. Baseball and
Mr. Baseball.
Excuse me, Mr. Baseball.
Yeah, Mr. 3000. I want to. Our hometown is featured in that movie.
Oh, really? Which one? We just named 7 movies.
Mr. 3000.
Mr. Baseball.
Yeah.
Did you ever see Mr. Destiny?
Yeah, we talked about it last week.
Did we really?
Yeah, we did. When we talked about Linda Hamilton. I used to watch it a lot as a kid.
Oh, yeah. That's weird. I was just thinking it was Renee Russo, but yes, it was.
She's
was
also,
that
she's
she
also
in it too?
Yeah, she is.
Okay.
Yeah.
Was that a cable movie?
It was a VHS movie for me.
Yeah.
Oh, it was? Okay.
Yeah, I remember being a pretty decent movie.
Because it wasn't in our house. It must have been a cable
So it was a
movie.
legal copy that
It must have been an illegal copy of Mr. Destiny.
Yeah. Late at night, he would sneak it into the family room and put in Mr. Destiny. We got this kind of surprised me. Tim Guiney as Curtis. He's the hospital worker that works with the girl.
Yeah.
Okay.
He's the priest in John Carpenter's Vampires that teams up with James Woods.
Holy shit. Yeah, he is.
Yeah.
Wow.
That surprised me when I was like, no way.
Yeah, he has glasses in it.
Yeah, and he's like a total dweeb in that movie.
You know, I've watched that movie like 3 times, but I've never finished it.
Dude, same. I own it. I've owned it several times. I've seen it one time through, and I think it was the first time I watched with you on cable.
Okay.
But yeah, I've never watched that movie straight through. It's something about, like, I love James Woods in movies.
Yeah. He sucks in Vampires.
He is a dick in Vampires. Yeah. But it's kind of like, that usually doesn't bother me. But like, he's just like, I don't know. It's just listening to him like.
There's a part in that movie where he calls the main vampire the F word.
Oh, he does that out there.
And even then, you're like, I know he's a vampire and an ultimate evil, but that's pretty bad. You can't say that.
Right.
Yeah. You can't say that.
In Wright, which is the girl, Karen.
Okay.
This surprised me. She is the girl in Dead Presidents. Have you ever seen Dead Presidents?
Yeah, I've seen parts of it.
It's the girl that pops out of the trash can and is shooting wildly at the robber. It's like a very iconic.
Oh, the grandma?
Oh, yeah. It's that scene.
I know.
From Don't Be a Menace, but in the actual movie.
Dead Presidents.
It's kind of a bummer because like I watched a movie a couple years ago.
That movie is sad.
And I thought it was going to be a lot cooler than it was.
The movie is so depressing.
Because the trailer for it was always her popping out of the trash can with the 2 pistols and, the white, and like having like the white mime makeup on.
Yeah.
And just blasting everyone.
I heard it's more of a drama.
Oh, yeah.
I thought it was going to be badass.
I mean,
that doesn't happen until like 3/4 into the movie.
It's the last part. And it's basically revolves around Vietnam War.
Yes.
And it's like just super depressing.
Yeah, soldiers coming back to Vietnam War, getting hooked on drugs.
Yep.
But yeah, the trailer made it look like it was like an action crime movie.
I remember that. Yeah,
and I remember they showing it on like Fox 19 on Friday night movies. And you know what I'm talking about, when they used to like do big or Tuesday night movies or whatever. And
you sat there, you got your gack out.
Yeah,
and you kept pushing inside.
And then while you're
watching Dead President,
and then when you're distracted watching that, Kris would sneak in the other room, watch Mr. Destiny on VHS.
Yeah. Hey, Kris, what are you watching?
Nothing. You go ahead and do your thing.
Schnick.
We got Arly Jover as Mercury, which is Frost's like right hand, the girl basically.
Yes.
Previous episode, girl with the dragon tattoo.
Really?
That's the only thing I recognize her from.
Okay.
Traci Lords as Raquel, who's in the beginning of the movie. John Waters' Crybaby. I used to watch this a lot because it was always on USA.
Okay.
Yeah.
It was a Johnny Depp movie, basically.
Okay.
Eric Edwards as Pearl.
Wait, wasn't Traci Lords a porn actress?
Yes.
And she was in this?
Yeah, she's the girl that brings the human to the club in the beginning.
Really? Okay.
Yeah,
I thought Traci Lords was an older actress for some reason.
And she's like, "Hey, Blade, I'm gonna rip your effing head off."
Yeah.
You know what I always get mixed up is Traci Lords and
the girl from Growing Pains?
No,
that's me.
What's her name from Risky Business?
Whiskey Business? Rebecca De Mornay.
Yeah, Rebecca De Mornay. I always get those two mixed up.
Really?
They look very similar.
Yeah, I say they look
I have to see her again and recognize her, but
yeah, that's it.
Okay. Eric Edwards as Pearl, which is the big vampire.
Yes.
Previous episode, Candyman, also in Little Rascals, and a movie that we will do for the podcast.
Maybe.
Problem Child 2.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
It's the big student that gets really sick on the
That's
ride.
him? Oh, wow.
Yeah,
okay. The one who gets taped to the...
Yeah, the board somehow. The
which doesn't make any sense. Yeah.
And then I'll mention one person else, Kenny Johnson as Dennis, the guy from the beginning, the human.
Yeah.
In a show that I used to watch a lot of that I really like, The Shield. He's like one
Grounded
of the main...
for life.
Grounded for life.
I never watched Shield. Matt watched The Shield.
It's awesome.
Yeah.
He's
who is he in The Shield?
Lemansky?
Oh my God, you're right.
Yeah, it's
Holy
him.
crap! Yeah.
So I was like, oh man, it's him.
Yeah, I knew I recognized him this time watching. I was like, he looks really familiar, but he might just be
he's
a guy
awesome.
I've
He's
seen and
awesome
stuff.
on The Shield.
Yeah,
he's really good. Yeah, that show's awesome. You should check it out.
Okay.
And that's it. And then Sanaa, Lathan.
What happened?
He was like
saying,
he's like, yeah, that's it. And it's a loud land.
Her name is pronounced Sanaa Lathan.
Okay.
As Blade's mom,
Yes.
Vanessa.
Oh, yeah.
Aliens vs. Predator. She's the main character in that movie.
I used to watch her in a movie called Something New.
Okay.
And it was her and Simon Baker. Is it Simon Baker from The Mentalist?
Yeah, in Land of the Dead.
Yeah. And it was about black and white relationships.
Oh.
And I remember thinking it was really well done. Cool. I haven't seen it in 15 years, but I remember liking it at the time.
Oh, that's cool.
And then she started opposite of Omar Epps in Love and Basketball, which is another.
I've heard I need to see it.
It's on my list.
I heard
it's
good.
It's one of those movies that always pass by because I don't know. I just haven't seen it yet. But
I've never seen it anywhere. Yeah. I mean, I know Criterion just released it.
Yeah.
But I've never seen it.
Oh, is it Criterion released it?
Yeah, Criterion just released it. But I've never seen it streaming anywhere.
Yeah. And then
it might be on the Criterion channel now that I say this.
Yeah. It might be worth checking out. And
then
she's still working. She's in Succession at the moment. The HBO TV show Succession.
Oh, good for her.
Oh,
very cool.
Dude, very cool. Oh, Succession.
Yeah.
Dude, you mean the adult version of Arrested Development?
Yeah, pretty much. Dysfunction. Dude. I need to watch this. I watched the first episode. It's incredible.
Every time I watch a trailer for that, every time I see stuff for that show, I'm like, that's Arrested Development, but with no joke. It's even shot like...
Where's the tumbleweed?
Yeah. It's even shot like Arrested Development with like the kind of the shaky cam and zoom. Like it's like...
Yeah, zoom when somebody's talking.
Yeah,
zooms in on
but
it.
it's like, it's the exact same plot where it's like siblings after their dad's fortune.
Yeah.
And it's like, man, this is Arrested Development.
But apparently that show's supposed to be incredible. Brian Cox has won several awards for his...
Oh, cool.
I hear it's really, really good.
Yeah, I love the theme song to that show. And I have the soundtrack and I love it. So, but yeah.
Cool.
On to the episode.
All right. 7 hours later, Blade. Now, let me describe this scene real quick, and I want to give you my thoughts on it. So it opens up where this guy is lured into a rave, and everybody's totally into it.
In a meat, like a butcher. Shop.
And it's dark with flashing lights. The girl brings this guy down to there and then immediately kind of ignores him, kind of like push him off to the side. And then in a very American Werewolf in Paris type scenario.
Yeah, exactly.
Everybody gets trapped inside. The sprinklers, the fire sprinklers go off. Blood is going everywhere and everybody's totally excited about it. And you find out that everybody is turning into vampires. And this is when our main character Blade shows up. Blade continues to destroy all vampires while the DJ is still playing, which I think is not Crystal Method. Dust Brothers, maybe?
No.
I'd have to look at it. It's one of the big DJs in like the
Speaking
90s.
of music, though.
DJ Shadow or something?
I don't know. It's because it is only one person, I think.
Okay.
Here's your first bit of trivia. They wanted Prodigy to do the music for this movie.
Oh,
dude, that would have been
How
awesome.
Freaking awesome would that have been?
That would have been
The soundtrack's not bad, but man, Prodigy doing it would be really cool. Because the best parts in the movie are when like that club music is blasting.
Yeah, the club, or like when the sunglasses fly off and he catches it and you're like, oh shit.
Yeah.
So much. It's DJ Kush, I think is his name.
Totally not who I thought it was. So Blade pretty much destroys everybody and saves the guy who came there originally. This is our first like 10 to 15 minutes of this movie. And then it's all downhill from here.
Oh man, that's a bummer. I think it's
this movie goes so hard at the beginning and you're like, oh man, we're in for a treat.
Yeah.
And then it never gets as good as the beginning.
Man.
Really?
Yeah. I think it's pretty
Even
good.
the last fight scene?
Not as good as this beginning.
Man, that last fight scene when he's like beating all those guys up is pretty badass.
It's still cool, but it's not this opening scene.
I love when he's going full Blade mode at the end. I don't know. I like how this movie opens up for sure. It's definitely like a good take. And what's cool is that like they kind of tease the vampire stuff when he's walking into the rave or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
He like hits something that's swinging by, and I'm pretty sure it's a human.
Yeah, they're bodies.
Yeah,
he
the
totally
bodies
bumps
of
into
humans.
a bunch of bodies
and
that are
he
wrapped
gives a
in
weird
bags.
look as it's like passing by.
And he's like, what the hell?
Yeah.
It's a really cool like subtle way to like kind of get into the movie.
Yeah,
because you're not really sure what this movie is. This is the first time you're seeing this superhero on screen.
Yes,
you know it's about vampires or whatever, but you don't really know what the gist is.
Yes,
but I love the idea that like this half vampire, half human Frost is kind of like illegally, quote unquote, throwing these raves to kind of lure humans, and everybody's against it basically.
So yeah, that's what Frost is doing. Is he's part of like this like vampire legion? I'm assuming.
Yeah, it's like their underworld. Like,
yeah,
I mean, underworld basically ripped off of this movie. I feel like with like the. Have you ever seen any?
No, I never saw Underworld.
Well, it's like I want to say it's this movie and Matrix that really pushed all the leather stuff.
Yeah. Well, this is
the leather and the sunglasses into the mainstream.
This is like a year before Matrix, and it does the bullet time first. It does like the slow mo bullets.
Does it? Yeah, it is a year before Matrix.
Yeah, it does the slow.
Oh, and then are you talking about from Roger Rabbit, the bullets that Blade shoots?
Yeah,
and
he went that way.
Yeah.
I'm sure. Yeah, because it's
that voice. I know that voice.
I know.
I
think it's Slim Pickens.
Is it Kristofferson?
Yeah. they want that way. Blade,
you son of a bitch.
Blade, use garlic on them. They hate garlic.
So yeah, like the main villain of this is like part of the vampire like,
and they run it. The human runs into Frost in this beginning part, so you gotta like get your first glimpse
of who he is.
But then like Blade dispatches all the vampires.
Well, I was gonna say going to like the Frost thing, since we're kind of like you kind of brought it up, but you're gonna finish it. Is that Frost is having these parties and he's wanting to kill humans, but then the Legion is saying there's an order, pretty much.
There's an order. It draws too much attention. I guess they have the American or the global American politicians in their pocket.
Okay.
If there's too much attention, they're gonna like shut them down. Basically,
okay.
Like, they're working in unison with there's like basically Blade says at one point it's like everyone is connected.
There's a truce.
Okay. Yeah, there's a truce. Everyone's connected. Don't trust anybody.
Okay.
So
are the Vampire Legion, are they really bad guys then?
I don't know.
I don't really know either. It's very kind of like...
It's like vague. It's like a vague...
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's kind of like, muddled.
Yeah, it's like your typical vague drug trade from the 80s. It's like they're just there. They don't explain anything further.
Like, they don't even explain why Blade wants to kill all of them. Like outside of his mom.
I think it's from his mom, yeah.
Yeah, but outside of his mom being killed, it's like, man, that's pretty tall order, dude.
Yeah,
it's a lot of
work you got to do.
Yeah, a lot of work just to get back on him.
And no help from anybody until Blade 3 with Ryan Reynolds and
yeah, good point. Good call.
Weird thing is too, where do you think this movie takes place in?
I was thinking like New York.
Yeah, Kris?
I mean, some big city area, some
metropolitan.
Some big city.
Yeah.
That's
some
very,
big city.
I was reading that
very, very specific.
I've seen this movie several times over, and I just read recently that
Idaho. It takes place in Idaho.
No, it takes place in New Orleans.
Really?
And I was like,
Would not have guessed it.
I would have not have guessed that. I was like, and if it does take place in New Orleans, I guess the only giveaway is Whistler is looking at a New Orleans map.
Oh, okay.
But I'm like, why?
Oh, that's because he's a fan of New Orleans. So he doesn't.
Can't wait to go there one day.
It's the map collection.
Yeah, that's his hobby outside of vampire killing.
Yeah.
Maps.
Like traveling the world. Kind of like Anthony Bourdain. But we kill vampires instead. No, like it's weird because I'm like, why would you not cash in on like that New Orleans?
Yeah,
like okay,
the Anne Rice, Rice or something like that.
Yes, Interview with the Vampire has some of the coolest like moments when they're in New Orleans, and it's like that gothic architecture and that style, and it's like, why would they not push that in?
Yeah,
and the other thing, here's something too is I completely blanked on it because I've read the Tomb of Dracula comic books that Blade is comes from the Marvel books. And I never picked up on the fact that Blade is actually English and not American.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Huh.
Yeah, because all those books take place in Europe. The majority of the stories take place in Europe.
It's like
Dracula. It'd be a cool Blade then. Idris Elba.
Right?
How cool would that be?
Yeah.
That'd be awesome. It's kind of like how they did with Constantine, because Constantine is English in the comic books.
Yeah,
They Americanized it in,
and then he's Shia LaBeouf in the movie.
No, it's Keanu Reeves.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, he's English. He's got like a Cockney accent apparently, and
you know what? That's kind of hard to read into because especially if you don't know from the get that they're
like comic books.
They have an accent, and it's like, how the hell are you supposed to pick that up from the word bubbles?
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly. Unless you like specifically like
unless he's like
state in the first panel like English accent or something.
Yeah,
yeah. It's hard to determine. But in the club scene, he basically kills all those vampires, and then he takes out Quinn, which is the right-hand man, slices his hand, I believe. No, he doesn't. Not here.
He sets him on fire.
He just burns him.
Yeah. Why? This drives me nuts every time I watch the movie. Why can't he kill him?
I don't know.
He can. He just doesn't want to.
It's almost like he's torturing him.
Yeah, he's like torturing him though.
Yeah.
He's like, because like when he sets him on fire, he's like,
I figured. He's like, I've sliced and diced you or something.
He's like, I'm gonna try fire this time.
Yeah.
And he throws fire on him.
It's almost like he's got like a rivalry with this guy. He's just trying to like, but they don't explain it. Like this is your first interaction.
There's a lot of things in this movie that don't make sense, and it's kind of the reason why it drops some percentages for me.
Yeah.
Like I'll just jump to the end, or not to the end, but towards the end. So Frost, we find out, has Blade's mother.
Yeah.
Like if he wants Blade gone,
is Frost the one that turned her?
I think so. Yes.
Frost is the one that turned her. Yeah.
So if Frost is trying to defeat Blade, why would you wait this long to show your mother?
Yeah.
Like you've had this guy, you're like, we gotta get rid of Blade. Yeah.
Draw him in.
Yeah, you can do this years ago. I don't know why you're waiting until now. Like it doesn't
maybe
make
she
any
like
sense.
told him, she's like, oh, by the way, my son is
Wait,
that guy you
who's
fight
your
all the
son?
time.
Yeah. Yeah. Why would they
gosh,
wait until
kidding?
like Blade basically reaches peak performance?
Yeah.
Olympic,
well, they had to hold off to him for Le Magra.
No, but they could still get.
I guess they're still trying to figure out where the tomb is and stuff. So it's just like, unfortunately, they reach when he gets the garlic serum or whatever, the serum that makes him explode.
Yeah.
And he's like just the ultimate badass. They wait until
Papa John's garlic garlic serum.
That'd be cool. That'd be cool.
Injected into your pizza.
Yeah. Try this with your breadsticks.
Try this with. Go ahead.
Yeah. Is that?
No, go ahead.
That was a good whistler so far.
I know you got it.
Try this with your breadsticks. See, I can't do it like you can.
It's like a Ted Levine kind of.
It sounds more like a Ted Levine.
Yeah, it does sound like a Ted Levine.
They like set him on fire. They take him to the hospital. This is where you meet the girl Karen.
Yes.
And her like lover or like
kind of they hit it with a throwaway line,
and so
that's
they're
not needed at all.
Yeah, not really needed. And until the end when he's like Karen, you know, like when he's
that
like
was really good.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah,
Karen.
Yeah, Ted Levine again.
Yep, I know.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
But yeah, he wakes up, turns into a vampire. Blade shows up for some reason.
Yeah,
it's like I came here to finish you off, and it's like, why didn't you do it the first time?
I was okay. So this time I was watching it, and this is what I'm thinking: that he is setting him up to follow him to.
That's possible. Yeah,
Deacon. So it's like because he can't kill him, so he's trying to basically. That's why he shows up at the hospital.
See if he wakes up.
But that's why it's stupid when he shows up at the hospital and he's like freaking out and he's like, I came here to finish you off.
Yeah,
and I'm like,
but it's silly because Blade literally shows up to the club that Deacon Frost is at. Yeah, he's there. He's at the club. So you found him already.
Good job.
Yeah, good job. You did a great job. But
maybe he's just that's the whole thing. He's just really bad at his job.
It could be. Yeah, it could be.
You know?
But I think it's also just he wants to keep toying with this guy and killing him. But basically turns Kier into vampire.
And then Blade pretty much watches after her for the rest of the movie. Why is Blade so interested in her?
I feel like he's not. Right?
But I know I feel like he is. Like he takes her home, and then they're like doing stakeouts together, and they're like, I don't know.
And there's absolutely no like sort of love connection or anything.
It's just all of a sudden she's just there. I feel like it's kind of odd.
I feel like it's a.
He has more of a love scene with his mom than he does with
this
girl. I don't know. Maybe it's because it's something he doesn't. He say something about how he sees something.
You look like my mother.
Yeah.
It's also a long-winded way of having her develop this ultra badass shot that he can give to vampires.
That's true. Yeah.
It's also I'm not going to question too much because they're just trying to add new characters into a guy that likes to fly solo.
Yeah.
There is a weird connection though with arms that pop out of sockets in this movie.
Oh yeah, it happens twice.
In this scene where they jump across the roof, her arm pops out of the socket. He pulls it out for her, right?
And then it happens to him later on.
And then it happens to him later on the bus or on the train.
When he grabs the train.
Yeah, and she does it to him. And I was like, what a weird I
think they're just supposed to be like cute. Like you did it for me.
I feel like it's a total. They do it earlier in a previous episode, GoldenEye, where it's like shoot her. I don't care. And then later Natalia's like, shoot 100%. I don't care.
Oh, yeah. He means nothing to me.
Yeah, it means nothing there.
Oh, that was good.
Thank you.
Nice.
To Levine again.
Go ahead, shoot him. I don't care. It means nothing to me. Monk.
And Kris Kristofferson starring as Natalia. But yeah, there's a whole lot of they inject her with the UV or whatever, or the garlic serum.
Yeah.
And there's a whole lot of just like luring her or sending her off back into the wild. Yeah. And then you realize that the cops are in the pockets of the vampires.
Yeah. But that's the thing too. He sets her up because they know they're going to come after her.
Yeah. They do. He does a better job of tracking
this guy,
him to the vampire than he does with Donal Logue, the Quinn character.
Yeah. That's why I don't understand the whole hospital sequence.
Yeah. When you put it that way, when you really break it down, it doesn't make a lot of sense.
I think it's just a cool way to have introduce this girl to the blade,
the fold,
the fold, and show that cops shoot first and don't ask questions later.
Well, possibly, and it's hard too because you have to have she's the audience character, and you have to have that.
We're supposed to be in her shoes.
Yeah, so we basically can explain to her to explain to us the world of vampires. And how they're all around us.
Yeah, pretty much.
So
I feel like there's about an hour in between this and the ending, and it's just a bunch of small scenes. I feel like nothing really big happens.
It's a lot of we're learning about the world that is Blade. We got the underworld society. We have full-blooded vampires. Then we have half-blooded vampires like Frost.
Yeah,
we learn that Frost cares about just like saying we're the
top of the food chain.
Yeah, top of the food chain. Nobody gives a shit about the human race.
We're the top of the food chain.
Oh, he does.
Oh, that's Sean Connery.
Yeah. Oh, kind of. Yeah. League of Extraordinary Gentlemen later on.
You're having a weird kind of Clayface moment.
I think I am.
Where you're trying to morph. You're trying to morph into somebody, but you're using somebody else's voice.
He's I can't control it.
I'm a fork. It's like I'm a giant fork.
But yeah,
I'm Ted Connery. I don't know what that was.
Connery. But yeah, it's just we learn about this holy temple that the underground society's been looking for years, but it turns out it's just in New Orleans. It's just this temple underneath this construction site in New Orleans, I guess.
Yeah.
And I
don't know. There's just a bunch of small scenes. There's the scene where they're trying to get information out of the giant vampire.
Oh, Pearl. Because I think Pearl is in charge of the library, which is where they have
they put the guy who can't chase anybody out of the library in charge of the library.
The one resource that's valuable to the vampire, and they put him it's an immobile character basically.
Yeah.
But they introduce the sun ray flashlight or whatever, and then they're cooking. cooking Pearl.
Yeah.
I read something
Pearl.
trivia about him, and I guess like they wanted
Eric
to do
Edwards.
this thing where Pearl eats kids.
Oh, really?
So like when they walk in there's a bunch of like children's bodies that are like around him because it's like prey that he doesn't have to like chase after. They're like easy.
They should have
prey.
done
I was
something.
like, it's so dark.
They should have
Like,
done something
it's
with
really
this.
dark.
They should have done something with this vampire because they make him look like a sympathetic vampire in a way because it's just like kind of feel bad. for
Yeah.
him.
Yeah.
I feel like if you knew he was like if his food was children, like when he got the
Then you'd
UV
be
rays,
like,
you'd
all
be like,
right,
oh yeah,
I-
he deserves it.
I think they should have done something like that.
Unless it was there and they just didn't film it.
No, I
Or
don't
they
think it was.
they edited
It's
it
just
out.
a room, a dark room.
Yeah.
That's it.
I think the library scene's good when they get attacked in there, and that's a pretty good fight scene.
Yeah, you got that little kid that's like taking Blade on.
Yeah.
Or tries to take
Like,
Blade
it's like
on.
pancakes.
Yeah, pancakes, Yeah,
And
and
they're
then
destroying all of the pages.
yeah, it's like maybe like don't attack him in the library that is very precious to
Right.
Yeah.
the vampire.
It doesn't
or
make
whatever.
any sense.
It's like luring somebody into my DVD room and then fighting them in there. Like,
Doing a bunch of spin kicks and
yeah,
like kicking
my record collection.
You're doing like an observe and report and just like destroying the entire room basically.
I love
This
that
next
movie.
part's about to get real dark.
That's what I mean. Though. Like, I feel like there's a bunch of small parts where not a lot is happening.
Yeah, it's like yeah.
I think you could pretty much cut to the point where Whistler gets killed,
yeah, and this is kind of a major tease,
which I think is stupid.
It's
because
really dumb. I don't.
Do you agree with me what I'm about to say? What I said earlier?
Yes.
Like, so to lure Blade, they should have killed the girl.
Yeah,
And
Oh
then-
no, I'm not agreeing.
Thank
with
you for
on this.
agreeing, Matt. And
I know what you're about to say. Though.
yeah, they should have killed the girl.
yeah,
And then captured Whistler because Whistler's the only thing that meant anything to him.
yeah.
So that should have been like I gotta get him because you can
Yeah.
tell there's that relationship there.
But I brought this up earlier though that when we were watching the movie together, that like the reason why he kills Whistler is because Whistler can hold his own,
Yeah,
and they kill Whistler because like it's a lot easier to take the girl who doesn't know how to fight vampires and take Whistler who's
I don't know.
basically
providing all the resources.
been fighting vampires for how many years?
Yeah, I think it.
But
makes,
but it doesn't make any sense because then again, why is he so like I have to go save her? Why does he care so much about this character? You're not
I
showing.
don't know.
me.
Maybe there's something deeper there that
You're
gets,
not
like-
showing it. That,
Why do you think?
I think it's just lazy writing.
I think they probably.
No, like, what do you think if you were to like analyze it
Yeah.
as like his
Oh,
motivation?
I think it's just a damsel in distress. That's all it is. It has
Yeah.
nothing to do about the relationship. It is purely just a damsel in distress
I think-
situation.
okay.
Don't get frustrated. You're getting
Analyze it as
frustrated.
far as like his character goes.
Yeah.
Like, why would you think his character would go after her?
because they're trying to give it a love interest.
No, not why somebody's
Matt, I'm
writing.
giving you my answer.
No, why? Yeah, I know, but not like somebody's writing for him.
Was
like,
this
if he
heavyweights?
was-
Hey, what do you think of the
If this is
can?
what I'm saying is, if this was a real story.
Do you know what I'm talking about?
Yes.
Do you remember that
If this
episode
was
in
a re-
Heavyweights where they're filming the commercial? He's like, when I ask you what you think of the camp, you say, oh, it's great. I love it here. You ready? 3, 2. And he's like, what do you think? And he cuts him off. He's like, it's great. I love it. He's like, wait until I finish.
It's on the video.
Yeah, yeah.
No, like if this is a real story, this is a real story.
Yeah,
like,
I think it's just a damsel in distress.
God damn it.
No. If it's a real story,
Yeah.
Damsel
You're
in
gonna set me
distress.
up again.
No,
You're
I'm
already
not. I'm not
smiling.
gonna set you up.
I will chime in. I think in one iteration of the script, they probably had a whole love interest type deal, but they decided to go get rid of it and just focus on the action only.
possibly, yeah.
I think they didn't find room for her. To be
Yeah,
like a love
but they
interest
still
at
try to put it in there and it just doesn't work.
all. Yeah,
for
they
me.
do.
Yeah.
There's like parts there.
Yeah.
It's still present, but they probably deleted or edited out or cut out scenes that really further
Yeah.
establish the.
Well,
the
there's
relationship.
motivation there for him, but not motivation there for them to take her. So for him to go after her, she has the possibility of creating a cure for him, right?
Yeah. Yep.
But the bad guys do not know this.
Yeah, so they're just kind of like,
So
take
if
this
they
girl.
knew this,
Yeah.
they could like use this as major leverage against.
Oh
like,
yeah. The only cure for your vampirism is
with us.
with us.
Yeah.
They should have established that's some sort of
Yeah,
agreed.
research or whatever.
So they kill Whistler, or no, he kills himself after he's attacked. In a pretty heartbreaking scene.
But
Yeah,
spoiler alert.
Yeah,
comes,
spoiler, it doesn't make sense at all.
Yeah, I don't know how he comes back in the second one.
They
I
don't
always-
explain it
I
he's in the
forget it.
second one.
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh,
and
really?
in the third one.
Oh, I haven't seen the second one, and I haven't seen.
So
I
the
want to say
second
he
years.
dies in the third one though.
He does.
Sure.
Yeah.
Alright?
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah. Just get me out of this movie, you son of a bitch. But yeah,
This
in
guy's
the-
just waiting for payback too.
Get ready to root for the bad guy again.
Mr. Destiny.
No, I wish he was Mr. Destiny.
Mr. Baseball.
Mr. 3000 base.
movie.
Yeah.
Mr. Baseball.
I want to go home and watch Mr. Baseball.
My brother's in the other room.
Watching, what movie were we watching again?
That box office bomb, The Rocketeer. Or something like that.
yeah.
Coming to a podcast near you.
I would love to. But yeah, there's a whole, Blade basically gets super jacked up and then goes to he goes to Frost's like headquarters or something. And this is where you get your sequence with the mom being revealed. And it's like very uncomfortable in a way.
Yeah, it's soups. It's really
it's like, hey Eric, hey.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Yeah, it's very awkward. I
very
feel like
Jim Morrison Doors.
What is that?
What is that?
The song The End. Never mind.
Oh,
I don't have to explain all of it. But it's very it's a very weird situation where it's like she is
You're all grown up now, Blade.
Yeah. I don't get it.
it's odd. It doesn't.
Is that a blade in your pocket or are you just
It's got a safety mechanism on it.
It's odd though. It's weird. Like it doesn't.
It's
fit.
very weird.
Yeah.
It's
It's very
weird.
uncomfortable to watch.
Yeah, but then they basically ambush him while he's like super distracted with that. They tase him a bunch of times.
Yeah.
And he's like, don't tase me, bro. And then they take him to that temple.
Yep.
For some fun shenanigans.
Or they kind of like drain his blood.
They have this like what is it? It's like a weird pod type thing that is blade shaped. They
Kind of Han Solo-ish.
They use like an X-Acto knife to like trace Blade's outline.
Yeah.
And then they basically
Send us your measurements.
Why?
Yeah, why is he there?
I don't know. But they get all this blood from all these different people.
Oh, I forgot to mention.
Wesley Snipes is in this.
Oh yeah, sorry, starring Wesley Snipes as Blade. No, I really like we skipped over, but the part where he kind of dispatches Udo Kier, which is that head vampire.
I did mean to bring that up. Yes.
This scene is actually like pretty cool.
Yeah,
I mean, we don't see this a lot in like vampire movies.
Yeah, because then what they do is they take out Udo Kier to kill him. The sun comes up. And it only kills him because he wasn't wearing Ray-Ban sunglasses.
And Tommy Hilfiger leather. Like, basically.
Do you remember this? Remember that commercial?
I think I do, yeah.
Yeah, it was a Ray-Ban.
Wow, that is very, very obscure.
Yeah, it was a Ray-Ban. And these vampires just burst into flames. And then because he wasn't wearing Ray-Ban sunglasses.
Like, buy Ray-Bans.
Yeah, pretty much. But everybody else is wearing like motorcycle helmets.
Yeah, and sunblock, which I don't like. I don't
like the sunblock. I don't mind the sunblock thing.
Which is cool as he pulls his... Yeah, I don't like the sunblock thing either.
I don't mind it.
He pulls the teeth out.
He pulls his teeth out.
Yep.
And then kills him with the sun.
It's
awesome looking.
It's like stop motion or something. Is that like?
I
don't think
so.
They
Really
show him like melting and stuff.
It's kind of like, man, I wish they all died in this movie looking this way.
Yeah, if they like would have get shot or something, they did that effect of them like melting.
Yeah,
that'd be.
He literally
awesome.
Looks like the final gremlin in Gremlins when it's getting hit with the sun. It's like,
yeah, pretty good. Yeah, yeah, that was good.
What's Kristofferson gremlin sound like?
Oh, that's not. I'm excited.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah. You son of a bitch.
Yums.
But yeah, just go back because that was like
that's a solid scene.
Really, really
cool.
I
actually meant to bring that up.
So I want to bring this up too. A past scene, the scene where because we're talking about the sunblock. And he's in the garden, and he's got the little girl. Stephen Dorff does.
I actually love this interaction between
Blade does the bullet time thing with Stephen Dorff, and
like,
Stephen
Dorff
runs.
Offer and you spit in my effing face.
So I guess on the set that day, David Fincher was there.
Oh,
yeah, and originally David Fincher was going to be directing this movie.
Originally, he was going to be the kid.
Yeah, he was going to be the kid. He's like, help me, I'm his child, obviously.
He was going to be Blade's mom.
Yeah. Blade, you're here. This doesn't work. Wesley Snipes, he's like, I'm not going to open up my eyes during this scene.
I'm not going to do it. Okay, I'm gonna
we
talk
talk about this joke.
So in Blade 3, apparently Wesley Snipes was so upset with everybody that there was a scene where he was supposed to be laying down in like a morgue, and his eyes were supposed to open, but he refused to do it. He's like, I'm going to keep my eyes closed the entire time. And they kept trying to get him to do it, and he wouldn't do it. So they had the CGI eyes onto his eyelids. And if you watch it, it's very clear there's CGI on his eyelids.
Dude, there's something similar like that in a movie called The Score, starring Edward Norton, Robert De Niro. It's like a
was it Frank Oz?
Frank Oz directed this movie. But there's a last shot of Marlon Brando. It's Marlon Brando's last movie before he passed away.
Yeah.
But there's a scene where it's like he looks at TV and is supposed to smile because of something that happens in the movie.
Yeah.
But Marlon Brando like refused to smile.
Okay.
And they CGI'd his face to smile.
No way.
And I watched this movie like last year, and it's so obvious that it's him like
Really?
CGI. It's like just like that, and it's like a Black Hole Sun music video. It's like mouth smiling. You're like,
Good reference.
What is
Good
that?
reference.
That's awesome.
With the whole Blade Trinity thing, I guess Patton Oswalt's talked about it.
Oh yeah, I think he's in.
He's in it.
Yeah,
he has like stories about it. Like,
I'd be curious to hear that.
I think I can't remember what podcast he was on, but he talked about all the things like. I think Wesley Snipes wanted to come out of his trailer and everything, and just
I think there has to be something going on with that because he takes a total backseat in Blade Trinity. It's basically like the Ryan Reynolds
spin-off.
It's their movie. Like they are the stars of that movie.
You know, I remember enjoying it. I know a lot of people didn't. I remember enjoying Blade Trinity. But then again, I remember enjoying this one. So I don't know if
it's not good.
Yeah.
I'll just
But yeah, so now at the end here we have this whole like blood's coming from all these different people.
Yeah.
To make Stephen Dorff a big bubble.
It's Blade's blood dripping on everybody's forehead.
Yeah.
And then it like, I don't know, it's like each pattern of their club or whatever.
Yeah.
And then it drops on Stephen Dorff's head and then their skeleton ghosts fly into him or something like that.
It's a cool looking scene. I couldn't tell you what happens for the last 15 minutes. He's literally just fighting.
Karen saves him, unlocks him. He drinks her blood.
Yep.
This is the first time he's drank blood in many a years.
Yep.
And then he proceeds to kill everybody, and it's incredible.
Yeah, it's cool.
It's pretty awesome.
Yeah, and I guess it's probably something we didn't mention was that Blade is half vampire, half human.
Oh, yeah. Sorry,
but you've probably already seen the movie at this point.
But yeah, Donal Logue, the right-hand man, gets his head chopped off.
Yep.
Get his glasses finally, and then proceeds to kill everybody.
Yeah.
Then we get a fight with Stephen Dorff.
Yeah, which is fine. I feel like I don't have much to add here. I
don't have much to add because I do have a little bit of trivia for the final scene that was filmed. But
okay, I don't know about this one.
That's fine. We can get to the end.
Just cut to it.
So, because like Blade pretty much saves the day.
He uses cool serum on Frost, and he explodes like Big Trouble in Little China.
He does. Yeah. He totally does. And then Stephen Dorff goes and does one of those blue cigarette commercials. Do you remember those?
Yeah, it's the e-cigs.
Yeah, the e-cigs. Yeah, he was like one of the first like people to like promote e-cigarettes and stuff like that.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. But yeah, so the last scene, you think the movie's over, but then it's like Blade and
this is always I'm always perplexed.
Is it Moscow, ladies?
Yeah, it's
Moscow.
Moscow. Yeah. I like this ending.
I like it, but it doesn't say anything.
No, it just seems like he's just continuing his fight against
he's just hunting.
Yeah.
He's like in Europe now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I wish it would have made
trivia.
No, I wish it would have made. I wish it would have made some kind of connection
of
to,
like the continuing
movie.
or whatever. Yeah. There's another
like there was some guy that
who got away or something.
Yeah.
And maybe he get Greenway. He's like, I'm going to Moscow.
Because I guess originally they wanted it to be Whistler.
Oh, like he had finally turned.
Yeah,
or something.
he had turned and he survived.
And he went to Moscow to get him.
Yeah,
that'd be cool.
Yeah, that'd be cool. I wish like it may have been cool if they like either let the girl Frost, the woman that's with Frost, or his comedic buddy Quinn.
Yeah.
If one of them got away at the end.
Yeah. Let his buddy get away at the end.
Yeah, and it's like. Yeah, because then it would have been like kind of a comedic, like, you know, I told you I'd always find you. Or
and he's like, oh, man.
Like, I actually like that better. Yeah.
I tried burning you. Let's try snow this time. Snowball. Mother effer.
And that's great.
Credits.
Yeah.
Credits.
Burnt and techno.
Burnt.
I you're going to burn. What was your trivia, man?
Okay, so there was
Man, he was so excited to talk about it.
There's an alternate ending where it's Blade walking away in New Orleans, and on top of a building, a vampire's looking down on him. And it's never revealed what the vampire is, but it was supposed to be Morbius.
Oh,
so they were about like the sequel was going to be Morbius.
That would actually be cool.
Yeah, but you can look it up, like the actual deleted scene.
Okay.
But yeah, it's like a no-name vampire is watching him as he's walking away from.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, and I was like, that's cool.
That actually would have been something. That would have been, it would have been a little cooler.
Because, like, is the third one, is it Dracula in the third one?
It's Dracula, yeah.
Yeah,
I wish
it's Gerald Butler.
Yeah, it's from Dracula
No, it's
2000.
not.
And Vitamin C's there as her.
Yeah.
Guys, stop lying to the audience.
Yeah, that's true.
no,
It's
Well,
not. It's a wrestler, isn't it?
Triple H is in.
Oh, he's just a vampire. But
Yeah.
I can't remember who the vampire, who the Dracula.
actually,
It's Sting from WWE.
actually, no. Actually, it's Parker Posey is the other
she's
woman.
she's Dracula. Parker Posey's Dracula.
Stay out of this conversation,
Yeah,
Kris.
what?
Parker Posey is one of the other vampires.
Yeah, I totally forgot she was in that. Yeah,
as
yeah.
Dracula.
Hato, stay out of this.
But yeah, like what was I gonna say? Crap, I lost my train of thought because we were talking about Sting and whatever. But
The musician.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know at this point.
Sting versus Blade.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah. Which is basically the Crow versus Blade.
Wait,
Wait, we're talking about Sting the singer.
Yeah, I'm not saying the
Oh, I was
singer.
thinking about
Oh,
Sting
yeah.
the wrestler.
Yes. So that is Blade, 1998. On Rotten Tomatoes, I think it said that it was at a 57% on Rotten Tomatoes. I will give this, 57 on Rotten Tomatoes. I'll give it a 60. I'll stick with a 60. I think it's fine. I think it's a weird movie to watch because there's awesome parts, and then there's goofy parts, and then there's slow parts, and there's cool parts again.
Yeah. It's almost like they're trying to find their voice.
Yeah, that's good for it, yeah.
for a first like introduction of a superhero.
Yeah. It's weird. It hasn't really aged well for me. What's weird is I was afraid Blank Man was just going to be okay.
Yeah.
That exceeded my expectations.
That was funny.
Spider-Verse I just saw, so I knew it was going to be great.
Yeah.
And then this I thought was going to be amazing. And this kind of not bummed me out. Like I said, 60%. I'll probably never watch this again. I think Wesley Snipes owns this character.
Oh yeah.
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 There's
I can't imagine anybody else.
I guess like before he did this, he wanted to make a Black Panther movie.
Oh, that'd be awesome.
Like he was pushing for a Black Panther movie,
Yeah.
and they're like, well, "Let's do Blade."
Okay.
Instead, I don't know why this was a
Interesting.
conversation. Maybe it's because like vampires were real hot at the time. They're like, yeah, we'll make a vampire.
Yeah, because
movie.
they had just done like Bram Stoker's Dracula. They did Interview with the Vampire.
Vampires came out the same year too.
Yeah,
John
Vampire. So
Carpenter's.
yeah, I could see that being a
Yeah,
much more
sure.
popular superhero to do because the only superhero movies that you had really at that time were the Italian Captain America, the Fantastic Four. Right? Is it Corman?
Yeah.
Okay.
Fantastic Four.
Yeah, because this is the
Yeah.
first. This is kind of considered the first like Marvel movie.
I would say this is like
Yeah.
in that Ben Affleck era. Basically, this is the first introduction.
Yeah,
of-
and this is also right after Batman and Robin tanks.
yeah.
So this is kind of the end
I
of
think the same
superhero
year, I
movies. This
thought.
is kind of revives it.
Yeah, yeah.
And it goes, and then it goes into X-Men, and it goes into Spider-Man,
Yeah. Yep,
Daredevil,
yep,
and then
yep,
the reboots in MCU.
Yeah.
But no, I think it's fine. I like it enough that I want to watch 2 and 3. I do like the character a lot. I like some of the fight scenes are awesome in this. Like I said, he's great. Cast is fine. I don't know. I just wish I loved it, and I don't. I think
Yeah.
it's fine. It's a fine movie. I'll stick with my 60%. What about you, Matt? What do you got?
I think outside of it being dated, I like this movie a lot.
Yeah.
I think it's like one of those movies. It's like it's just a CGI. If this movie was honestly 10 years younger in the 80s, man, this would be like a huge following.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah.
But there's something about this, like, there's something about movies, like, I don't even throw like The Mummy
Mhm.
in there, where they were really trying to use CGI to tell a story.
It's like the first use, like
yeah,
almost.
and it just doesn't age well, and it didn't have its like fan following.
Yeah.
Blade is one of those movies where like it could have a following if it went more into the horror realm as
Yeah.
opposed to the action realm.
Mhm.
Saying that, yeah, I would give it like a 75%. I like it. I'll watch it again.
Yeah.
I mean, I enjoy this character a lot. Because I do want to ask you guys a question after Honto gives his review.
Sure.
So
Yeah.
I'll continue my
Yeah.
rant later. But go ahead, Honto.
I'd probably give it like a 75. I can watch this whenever.
Yeah.
The story is definitely disjointed for sure. I mean, like just talking about it for this podcast, it was kind of like realizing, oh yeah, just kind of like they go here, they go there,
Yeah.
and then they fight, they go to another place, and then it's the end of the movie. The action sequences are awesome, and this really does show Wesley Snipes' like expertise in martial arts.
Yes.
'Cause I think he's
Yeah.
got I can't remember which art it is, but he's got a black belt in like Taekwondo or
Very
something.
cool.
But it's
Very
like
cool.
he's definitely doing his fighting stunts for
Yeah.
sure. It shows. It's like awesome. The music that goes with the sound, the fighting scenes just gets you amped up. It's awesome. I will say, like, yeah, the girl in this who plays Karen, like, kind of throwaway character, so there's a lot of like kind of throwaway stuff.
And I think she does fine with what she's got. It's not her. It's the character.
It's the character and the writing.
Yeah.
It ultimately falls on the writing. But yeah, I definitely watched this again. I grew up with this movie. I've seen it multiple times. I saw it in theaters. I love the fighting in this movie.
Yeah.
And makes you definitely want to go watch Blade 2 now.
Okay.
And probably not Blade 3. I don't think I can watch the movie.
I remember Blade 2 is another one where we talked about the CGI aged really horribly.
I watched the first like 10 minutes of it, and it's like pretty. I think I think it looks better in this movie.
Yeah,
I want to say
because they go overboard, but I remember the story's better in 2.
I think that might be correct. Okay. And some of the fight scenes are really
and the
awesome.
the vampires are awesome in 2.
They're more like formidable foes to Blade, which is awesome.
Cool. So the question I was going to ask, they announced about a year ago that or a couple years ago now, I think, that they're making a Blade movie, a new one. They're rebooting it.
I think they announced at San Diego or one of the Comic-Cons pre-COVID. So I've known about it.
And it's going to be Mahershala Ali.
Yep.
Yes.
From
Spider-Verse,
Moonlight.
Yeah.
Spider-Verse. And I'm wondering now, like kind of watching this, we talk about how great of a kung fu artist that Wesley Snipes is.
Yeah.
Do you guys think they're going to push that same, like basically, do you guys think they're going to tell the same story, or what are you like expecting from the new Blade movie, and what do you want from the new Blade movie?
I think it'll be the same. I think his character will stay the same. I saw something that Charlie Cox was talking about Daredevil, and he said, "Yeah, you can bring my character into a PG-13 universe.
Yeah,
it's like, but it has to have that tone. You can't lose that tone.
Yeah,
it could be PG-13, but that's got to stay. And I think the same thing with Blade. You have to keep that tone, but you can have a PG-13 movie. It doesn't have to be violent and cursing. Everything.
Hell, I mean, like aside from the explosions in this movie and like the detailed like melting, like this is for sure a PG-13 movie. When he's slicing and dicing people, they turn to ash. PG-13.
Sure,
just do that basically.
Yeah. As long as he kills.
He has to kill.
Yeah.
Yeah, he has to kill vampires.
And they'll do like Spider-Man cartoon where he's got like a laser sword and...
Hey, how's he talking?
I can't remember how he talks. It's really goofy though, because it's like... Yeah, it's like real deep and like gravelly.
Oh man, I'm like... I
want
it.
Like that. And it's like, my name is Blade.
Yeah.
It's really weird. And he's like Spider-Man.
Yeah, it's very like operatic, dramatic.
Yeah, very dramatic.
Yeah.
But like, here's the thing. I don't want Marvel to...
Dude, they're gonna add comedy to it.
I know. I don't want it to be another like...
They're gonna have the blade eating...
they're doing these like self-aware Marvel movies now where it's like, guys, it's like the internet's talking to you through movie. Isn't that great? And it's like, no, I'm tired of freaking watching this.
They're gonna have that post-credit scene of Blade and Whistler eating shawarma after the bridge battle. They're gonna do like comedy stuff like that. I know they're gonna do it.
Yeah, and I don't want it to be like, we're gonna have Blade team up with
Blazer,
Guardians
from Dodgeball.
Blazer,
or like Blade teaming up with like Guardians of the Galaxy. Like I don't want them to be.
I don't mind it. I think it's
I don't
cool.
want them to be in the same world.
I think they're gonna have them team up with
Howard the Duck.
No, I know you guys will never see Eternals. Yeah, but there's a character in that movie. I think he's gonna.
I hope not, man.
They're gonna do it.
I don't want it. I don't want it connected, and I don't want it to be like, well, vampires. They're from the planet Vampire.
Where Barbarella's from.
Yeah,
whatever.
from Barbara. Yeah,
I'm okay.
I don't want any of that stuff.
Yeah, it's like how are they gonna? Yeah, Vampirella.
Yeah,
it's like how are they gonna introduce vampires in this universe? Because like every threat that isn't human in the Marvel universe is all extraterrestrial.
Yeah,
unless they do something with Doctor Strange where it's a multi-dimensional, they come over or something.
That's possible.
That's the only way I can.
I think the planet thing is a good idea. I'd be down with the planet thing.
I don't know. I hope because they've already fought aliens. It's like I don't care about aliens. I would rather have this thing that's there already.
Yeah,
come out of the woodwork because
the problem, and that's the problem with the Marvel movies. They're getting less and less realistic as they keep making them, and like to the point where it's like they're basically like Star Wars.
Yeah,
like they're on other planets fighting aliens. Yeah. And they're not even in like cities and areas.
The whole like Iron Man going to outer space only works when you do the team up movies. It does not work when it's a standalone movie.
Yeah. Agreed.
So, but I want it to be kind of grounded and gritty. I want it to be like
I think it would be awesome.
This multiverse of madness movie is going to be a test of whether Marvel can pull off the horror stuff. Like
I think they can. I think they can.
And if they don't, then it's like, okay, then Blade is doomed.
Yeah.
I'm not worried
I think they can do it. I think I have hope because MCU is pretty good with the movies that they've done. Eternals was god awful, and I don't think they're going to repeat that mistake by making it too extravagant or
it's
too,
weird, man. That is such a
whatever.
decisive movie too.
That movie is awful.
Or divisive movie.
Awful,
Sorry, divisive
awful movie. Like
I know people who really liked it.
Like 10% level movie.
Really?
It's bad.
Wow.
It is really bad.
Wow. Okay.
I mean, like, if you have 2 hours and 45 minutes you want to waste, watch it. You're not missing much.
Wow.
Trust me.
Okay. Wow. Okay.
But they, like, spoiler, they introduced Blade in the post-credit sequence.
Oh, very cool. I didn't know
So
that.
he's in it with one of the characters. That's why I fully
cool.
believe
Okay.
like,
his voices.
yeah, it's not Blade because they haven't determined what he's.
How does his
like
voice sound when he talks, Matt?
I haven't heard. I
No,
haven't
you said it
watched
sounded like it was the cartoon.
It's
so-
me, Blade.
Yeah, that's how the cartoon would sound. But I guess he just gets his sword at the end of it. And I'm
Okay.
like,
Blade doesn't get a sword. It's another character gets his own sword, and then he's
Okay.
like, "Y'all ready for this?"
Here's your S word. You mean sword?
sword.
that's stupid.
It's really dumb, but, I was
But
proud of
yeah,
it.
so we'll see what happens.
No, I'm looking forward to it. I am excited. Like I said, I want to watch the rest of this trilogy. So not horrible reviews. 60 from me, 75 from the other guys. Not to just throw you away like you're the other guys. Like it's the Kris and the Other Guys podcast. Hanto 75, Matt 75. That is Blade from 1998. Thank you for rounding out our Black Superhero Month and our 201st episode, following our 200th episode, obviously. We're going to do martial arts like we do for the past couple years now. That new
I think
thing.
it's year 3, maybe.
Because we're already in March right now.
Yes. So we decided to do just 2 movies for martial arts. And I guess let's just announce what the first one's going to be. I don't know which the first one's going to be. So Matt, you pick. Go. What do you got?
Guyver.
Guyver.
Oh wow, we're ending strong on the other one.
We're starting strong with Mark Hamill's The Guyver.
This is actually this is cool because like with the way we're kind of bridging this gap, is technically Blade is a martial arts movie.
It is. So it's kind of like, it's a good like.
Yeah, it's
a good.
That's
awesome.
works
We
both
totally
ways.
planned that.
Woo!
Yeah, we
Thank
totally
God.
planned it.
Woo!
We got behind, so we're like, if Blade's last, we can have Blade drop in March for martial arts month.
Yeah.
Plus, it could be our Black Superhero Month.
Yeah, Hanto, when you post this, put Black Superhero Month / martial arts.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, Wesley Snipes returning for martial arts month, like Hanto's request from years ago. Oh, okay,
Steven Dorff.
You announce a movie and you spit right in my effing face.
Is that supposed to be Blade from the Spider-Man cartoon?
That's supposed to be Frost from the movie.
Oh, okay, cool. So thank you so much for joining us. If you have any requests for any future episodes or any themes, or if you just want to say hey, you can hit us up on Facebook.com or email us at
SimilColdPodcast@gmail.com or hit us up on the anchor.fm link to leave a voicemail.
Yeah, and so we'll do the Guyver from like, what is this, like early 90s? Like 90, 91?
I think it's 90. Or 90 or 91. Yeah, you're
This
right.
is
91.
91. This is a Matt favorite from when he was younger.
Oh, yeah. Watch the shit
will
out of this
say,
movie back in the day.
I do not want to watch it unless we can find the actual rated R cut.
Yeah, we can't find it.
So then I guess we're not watching it.
You know you're in for a treat when one of the directors' name is Screaming Mad George.
Yeah, he was the effects artist on Reanimator.
Nice.
And he directed Society.
I'm pretty sure
that's
he
Brian,
did this stuff
Brian
for
Usna.
Yeah, Brian Usna, but I want to say Brian Usna had some did he produce the Guyver?
He's a producer in Guyver, yeah.
Yeah.
But see, that's the hard thing. Is
and
that,
there's Reanimator connections to the Guyver.
Yeah, that's
true,
wild.
yeah.
I did not
Yeah,
realize
there's a few.
I did not realize that.
Yeah. Okay. So I'm excited to talk about it. I haven't seen. I actually watched it a few years back. But
Yeah,
I'm
we
excited to
watched
watch
a
it
few.
again. So thank you so much for joining us. We love doing this. We hope you love listening to it. I'm Kris.
I'm Matt.
And I'm Hanto.
And we'll see you next time.